Little Nitro.
Stacked.
If James lost, he'd have to eat a dub.
I'm not doing that. Did you see that clip of Deion Sanders?
You don't call Nick Saban Nick. Don't call me Deion.
Let me put some respect on his name. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Paul Rodriguez Show. It is with a heavy heart. We wish the family of Mike Leach all the best condolences and prayers to him. What a great human being. We got the boys in the mix. We'll get to Coach Leach here in a moment. Producer James in the building. We took off yesterday, had a little something to take care of. We appreciate everybody coming back to watch today. Thank y'all very much. Those who are watching later on, we appreciate y'all stopping by. The man of the DF Dub. We love to see his face. Wes Washington back in the mix. Hey, Wes, man, it's good to see you, bro. How about them Cowboys up there? How you feeling, man? You good? I love to see you pick them. I love when they win as well. Are you doing all right, sir?
Man, come on, bro. They're playing horrible teams, but I'm doing good, man.
Good
I
to
mean,
hear it.
Cowboys should be embarrassed by what they did Sunday, man.
It's all good.
Yeah.
How was the weekend, man? How was your weekend outside of that game?
It was good, man. It was good. You know, I enjoyed some sports. College basketball is going pretty strong. You had the World Cup. So, I mean, and you had the NFL. So, just good times right now, man. It's the holidays.
It is.
You know.
I'm looking forward to the magical season that is the Christmas time. Everybody's celebrating. Whatever faith you celebrate. You know, shout out to everybody doing their own thing. We live in a great country that allows us to do so. We got the man behind the engineering screen. Producer James, want to give him a shout out. Looking freshly cut, sir. You got a little, I'm going to start calling you a little something
Whoa.
different now. You got to cut it off, ladies and gentlemen. Cut it nice and short.
Got tired of it.
You know it's the winter time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a summer cut right there. You're gonna be spending some money on some headwear pretty soon.
Hey, you going into the Army or what?
Call him GI Santa Cruz.
I ain't gotta mess with it, man. It's getting to the point where I'd wake up with cowlicks and stuff. So I just
Yeah, I'm hiding mine. I'm gonna get mine cut probably this weekend. I was gonna do it yesterday, but I was like, no, I'm just relax. Gentlemen, we had the sad news that came to be confirmed today. I want to talk a little bit about Coach Leach, one of my favorite coaches. I was a huge Texas Tech fan while I was in high school. I really liked that program. I really liked the colors. The red and the black was very appealing to me. And then, not to mention that when I was a teen, when I played ball, I got to see guys who looked like me with the Hispanic last name play at a Power 5 school, and Coach Leach was actively recruiting, those individuals. So I just wanted to say how impressive that was to me because I didn't get to see someone like me at the Power 5 level. But those were a lot bigger humans compared to myself. I know I'm big, but I'm not tall. I'm just wide. That is what it is. But wanted to get y'all's thoughts. Coach Leach would always joke about, his players and how they like to hang out with, their little girlfriends. He used a different word in front of it, but I don't want to get anybody in their feelings about things, so I'm going to keep it quiet right there. But if you look up a quote, you'll definitely see, my Coach Leach didn't mix words. He said what he said, meant what he said, and did what he said. A very eclectic individual, fun spirit, very knowledgeable in history, an avid historian that would review all types of history from the Apache culture to the pirate culture, and I'm pretty sure everything mixed in between. So we just want to send our condolences to the Leach family. Unfortunate that he had to leave this earth the way he did, but I'm sure he's at peace now, and I'm sure he's not hurting. So I want to just say what a good human he was when he was on the planet. But shout out to Coach Leach. He will be dearly missed, changed the game. Practically, I would say co-founder. I mean, Hal Mummy created that spread offense, and he definitely matched it. Coach Leach did. But Wes, I wanted to get your thoughts. James, I want to get your thoughts too. I'm pretty sure you learned a lot about Coach Leach in the last few days, James. But I just want to kind of see what you thought and see what your feelings were. If you had, I mean, I'm sure your brother was in school whenever Crabtree and Graham Harrell had that huge game to beat the University of Texas. So, James, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Why not? That's where being him, in the college, sports wasn't too familiar, but I do know who he is, recognize him, of course, from Tech and all that. So, watching quotes and stuff, flying around, I was like, you always hate to see those guys go that are unanimous across the board. Nobody's got one bad thing to say, and that goes a testament to the kind of guy that he was.
Yeah, just real honest. And it wasn't like a judgy kind of honest. He was just who he was, and he didn't apologize for it. No. Quick guy, very smart, high advanced. I mean, he graduated with a law degree. He had a master's degree, so he was definitely educated. Wes, what are your takeaways from the great life Coach Leach had?
I mean, he kind of made Tech fun to watch when he was there. Too bad he had to deal with Craig James. Craig James ruined two D1 programs. But they were like Tech was fun to watch with the air raid offense. Wasn't a big defensive guy, but he was also fun. Like his interviews were always funny. My bad. Nobody had a bad word to say about him. He'd probably, if it wasn't for Craig James, he probably would still be in Lubbock because he was loved in Lubbock. Like you can't say a bad word about Mike Leach in Lubbock because people will shoot you, man. I mean, they love some Leach, and they would always wanted him to return back to Lubbock. But great coach, and his teams were fun to watch, man. They got up and down, and people like offense.
That's 100%, man. People love to see the ball in the air, and they like to see a lot of points on the board. I was actually fortunate enough to know quite a few people who were affiliated with the Texas Tech football program. A good buddy of mine, his son was he worked for Cliff Kingsbury while he was the coach there. And then I had my other buddy, he had a cousin who played for Coach Leach, and they got to share some real unique stories. Maybe we'll mention them in the future, but with the passing of Coach Leach, we just want to kind of honor him and give him his due, give him his flowers, just because of how well liked he was. And he did a lot of things. He has a huge coaching tree. There's plenty of guys who are going to be always under him, and how that offense is going to be spread throughout the nation. Most recently, another branch from Coach Leach's tree, how ironic it lands on the day he leaves the planet. Eric Morris today was named head coach at the University of North Texas. So quite fitting for a young coach and a branch of the Mike Leach coaching tree does get a new job and an opportunity at a Division I FBS level school on the day of the passing of Coach Leach. So I don't think nothing is a coincidence in my opinion. I kind of live by that mantra, and it's quite fitting that, we got to see Eric Morris get that head coaching job on the day Coach Leach passes. So shout out to you, Coach. I'm sure you're going to be sorely missed and dearly missed. So we just wanted to give you your flowers today. Maybe that was you calling into the show from the beyond. So shout out to you for giving us a little bit of a shout out. I'm going to take that as who was calling us into the show. Unfortunately, we didn't answer the phone, but I'm going to take it as a sign. Nothing is a coincidence. So shout out to everybody joining us. It's time to get into some NFL ball. We'll get into some college football a little bit later. We'll get into the Heisman. Definitely have to talk about that. Shout out to Caleb Williams, the quarterback for the USC Trojans. Let's get into it, guys. Dallas Cowboys escaped with a very narrow win over the last place Houston Texans. The pedestrian Dak Prescott, the politician that he is, was able to salvage on the last drive with a couple of adjustments by the coaching staff, thank God, because they were ruining the game before. Tony Pollard is a magician. He's a beast. The guy is on another planet right now. CeeDee Lamb needs some help. They did get a big signing yesterday with T.Y. Hilton joining the bunch. I think that'll be a good outlet for Dak. I don't think he can separate anymore, but as far as precision route running, I think T.Y. is going to be as good as you got. Can he take the top off of defense? Probably not anymore, but I think he'll be definitely an asset as they try to make a push as they end the season. Wes, you were there, sir. You were in the building. You got to see the ebbs and flows. You were not happy. I was not either. So, you weren't there.
No, I didn't go to this game.
Okay.
My buddy sold the tickets for golf, so ended up not going.
Well, it worked out in your favor.
But, I watched it, and it was hard to watch, man.
It was.
It was because you're thinking that this team, they're gonna come in here and they're just gonna roll over because that first drive they did really good, and I was like, they look at this, and then of course they turn it over on the punt, and Texas scored pretty easily, and that just didn't look good, man.
Nope.
Did
you hear any of his post press conference?
No, I did not.
So what I got to hear a little bit about from Dak, from the horse's mouth, is saying that he was, and we all saw it. We saw it in his play. He was saying that he was making his reads too slow. And he said that he was just confused by the defense that they had in their pre-snap formation. And it's like, well, then what the hell were you doing leading up to the game? How are you that ill prepared? Who's the guy who's supposed to get you prepared? And if it wasn't for his, I think there's some greatness in there. And I'm not saying there's a lot of it, but I think there's some. And that was evident on the last drive. They did make the adjustment to put Jason Peters at right tackle because 75 Bell was getting handled on that right edge. Not to mention the Noah Brown touchdown, Mr. Consistency. There's not a lot of consistency in Dallas, but Noah Brown is consistent. He can block and he can catch in pivotal points of the game. If it wasn't for that out route at 1:17 left in the clock in the fourth quarter, they don't get to score. Zeke doesn't get to punch it in from the 2-yard line. Dak was able to guide them and matriculate down the field to get him in that position to do so. But again, if Dak cannot do this consistently, it's for nothing. You go play a team in the top 8 of the NFL in the NFC East. You play like that, you're going home. We all know it. They need to figure out the consistency. I'm not concerned. It's a good win. It's an ugly, dirty, nasty win. And at the end of the day, like I like to tell everybody, the W's is what counts. The W's is what counts. You know what? That's fine. We got to see a little bit of greatness in Dak. It's an ugly win. The defense bowed up when they needed to on that last drive when Dak threw the ball directly to the DB because his arm got hit. The defense bowed up. Micah Parsons. Where the hell is Micah Parsons? Where's Micah? Where in the world is Micah Parsons right now?
He's on Twitter.
Could be. He could be on Twitter. He could be. Wes,
it's been quiet.
It's infuriating. And he was upset. I think he was upset at his performance because he was asked those questions. He's like, I didn't have the pressures. He's taking the ownership. But for me, we're done. The expectation is NFC title game, NFC championship game, or bust. This whole playing like crap in week 14 against the worst team in the NFL is completely unacceptable. And this is what causes so much disdain and so much concern and Dallas fans getting in their feelings is this type of performance. And Wes, I know. It's understandable. I'm at that point where it's like, look, for me, who is always the apologist, I'm always give them a chance. They're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. This game, if this is the way they're gonna play the rest of the game, leading up into the playoffs, don't show up. Don't do it. It's not worth it. You're just gonna embarrass yourself. And there needs to be some accountability, and that's Mike McCarthy's job to do so. But he's too worried about challenging plays when it's evident the game. And I know what Dean Blandino said in the commentary. I get it. So what, Dean? That's not the way they saw it. And Mike McCarthy got charged a timeout for it. Bad coaching at bad situations without the understanding of what's going on in that situation. They're cleaning up the penalties. It's getting a little bit better. Dak was pedestrian. He's got to step up. You got a new weapon. You got to fix it. It's got to be fixed. Wes?
I think it's mainly on Dak. I mean, you could say coaching too, but I think it's mainly on Dak. I don't think this team, if Dak's gonna play like this, I don't think this team's going anywhere. They may make the playoffs, but I don't see them winning the first round game if Dak is playing this bad, dude. It just, I don't know. It seems like the offense should be a lot better. They should flow a lot easier. I mean, yeah, they put up a bunch of points against the Colts, but how many defensive touchdowns did they get? How many turnovers did they get?
Mm-hmm.
If they're not getting turnovers and they're not, getting pressure, I think any team in the league can beat them. They just don't. That just doesn't look good, man, and it's hard to watch, and it's very upsetting, and I'm tired of the bullshit, dude. I'm serious. It's sad. I don't even know if I want to go to the game on Christmas Eve to watch the Eagles, because I think that's gonna get ugly, because it's just not a good team, man. They're pretenders.
It seems to be something consistent with Dallas Cowboys of the Danny White 70s, of the Dave Laufenberg, the Rodney Peete eras, even at times the Tony Romos, excuse me. I'm sorry, Troy. I did not mean to put your name in the mention of those guys, but Tony Romo's my intention. Those Cowboy teams would play down to their competition, and that's exactly what happened Sunday night. They were able to figure out a way to win the game, both offensively and defensively. But at the end of the day, you cannot be overlooking anybody right now. Every win is important, because Philadelphia is trashing their opponents right now. And it doesn't matter who they are. You can bring up that damn Colts game. No one gives a damn about that. That was 3 weeks ago. Today is what people are talking about. What did you do this past Sunday? And right now, the Eagles are trashing their opponents. And let me tell you this right now. If Dallas goes in at home and plays the way they did Sunday, Wes, you're 100% right. It's going to be a bloodbath. And for me, on Sunday, I looked at all the stats that tell the telltale signs of a Dallas victory and a Dallas loss. -2 in the turnover ratio. They had 3 turnovers. They lost 2. Dak threw 52% of the time compared to the run. Dak did not throw enough touchdowns to make this game competitive. If it's me, if Dak's not getting 3 touchdowns and his interceptions are outweighing his touchdowns, that's a problem. Dallas Cowboys did everything they could to lose the game. They did everything. Mike McCarthy caused problems. Kellen Moore is calling more passes, or Dak Prescott's changing the plays. You cannot throw more than 50%. If you throw 50% and under, I'm fine with it. More than 50%, you lose. +2 or more in the turnover ratio, you lose. They did both. And the team was able to have a goal line stand on 4th down, take the ball, drive down the field, and win with a walk-off touchdown. Not a walk-off field goal. That's the difference. I got to give them what they did right. But damn it, you did everything to lose that game. Everything. Come on, roll your eyes.
Kellen Moore not on the hot seat.
Exactly.
How is Kellen Moore not on the hot seat?
Because
his play call, it's terrible. I mean, come on, man. I don't get it. I don't see how Mike McCarthy doesn't in the middle of the game. And what's the old guy for the Oilers? Was it Bum Phillips or something? What was it, Wade Phillips or one of those guys? Which Phillips was it? He came over there and he hit Kevin.
Kevin Gilbride.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know which Phillips that. I think it was Bum Phillips. He's the one who punched Kevin Gilbride. I think I could be wrong. All you old school Dallas Cowboy fans, let us know in the chat if that's the right way, the right Phillips. I mean yeah. But yeah, man, that's exactly right. Like, just run. I use an expletive whenever we're in the group chat, but just run the ball, okay? Just run it. It ain't hard. It's not difficult. When you run 50% and up and you don't turn the ball over, you dominate. You dominate. But when
you got two
throw,
good backs.
when you throw more than 50% and you have turnovers, you lose. Why not just follow the script? Because you're down a few points to the last team. Who cares? Keep running the ball. Because what's going to happen in the third and fourth quarter? That defensive line is going to be gassed, and then you're going to have a change of pace back like Pollard, and he's going to pop for 75 yards. He's going to pop for 35 yards. Just keep hammering them with the 1-2, and at the end, they're going to have a knockout punch. James.
They're saying that it was Buddy Ryan.
Oh, so it was the Ryans. That's what it was. The
Buddy
Ryans.
Ryan.
It's a different family. That's a different family.
But don't feel bad because apparently there was a lot of people that were getting mixed up with Bum Phillips.
So that's Rex Ryan and what's Rex's brother's name? He was the D coordinator in Dallas. Rob Ryan.
yeah, Rob
He
Ryan.
was terrible.
Bro, he was a little garbage. I gotta admit.
He was terrible. Yeah.
Pop. Who keeps saying Pop? Is that me?
Odd.
I don't know. I like soda, but I'm not from the Midwest. So whoever's in the comments talking about Pop, give us a different word. Give us an adjective. See, there he goes. We're a little late. There you go. The Cowboy fans is talking now.
Come on, man.
That's all good. Hey, I don't think maybe I do remember that time. I just don't remember the name. But yeah, Kevin Gilbride. See, if anybody should have known, it should have been West because he was like in his 20s when that happened. So if anybody's gonna know,
you go, bro.
was it the 90s? Was it the early 90s? Or am I wrong?
I thought it was in the 90s, so I was not 20 in the 90s.
Okay, you were old enough to remember. You weren't.
Oh, maybe I was. Maybe I was in my early
maybe.
20s, late 90s.
Maybe, yeah. I didn't want to put you out there like that, but yeah. Goddamn. 7:57. Excuse me. I'm already putting us at an hour ahead. 8:57. Any last words on the Cowboys, Wes?
They're pretenders, man. I hate to say it, and I'm still gonna watch it, be an idiot, and go to the games and wear their stuff. But I don't see it. I don't see this team that is playing the way they are right now making a run. I see them losing in the first round playoffs. They're just that. Dak is. I think they're a good team. I think it might be the quarterback play. I think that's the difference.
Listen, man.
I think if he steps up, if he can outplay Jalen Hurts, then I think they can beat the Eagles. But if Jalen Hurts outplays Dak,
now let's just. I didn't think we were going to go this far, but you got me curious when you said if Jalen Hurts can outplay. Define outplay. Do you mean like beat him in throwing or beat him with his legs or just overall? Because I'm going to tell you right now, Jalen Hurts is going to absolutely, unless they get it figured out, Jalen Hurts is going to destroy the Cowboys because if Jeff Driscoll is dominating the edges of the Dallas defense, Jalen Hurts is going to absolutely embarrass them. So that's my question. Are you talking about running outplay Dak or just as QB play?
Just QB play. As a leader, he's got to do better than Jalen Hurts. It doesn't matter if he's making plays with his legs or he's throwing the ball. But also, he's just got to be a better leader. He's got to. I don't know if it's between him or Kellen Moore why they pass it so much, but it just seems like when Dak is playing, they pass it a ton. I don't know if it's because Dak's changing it. Maybe Cooper Rush doesn't change it at the line and he just runs the ball. And you said that he couldn't read the defense, so I mean,
I didn't say
he said
it.
I
didn't say he said it. Dak Prescott said it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dak said he can't read the defense, so you know what? Maybe you should run the ball more instead of trying to pass it. If you can't read the defense,
the Dallas Cowboys have not thrown over 50% since what loss?
Probably Green Bay, didn't they?
Green Bay.
But, yeah.
That was the last time the Dallas Cowboys threw for more than 50%.
And, I mean, he should have taken notes just from that because you had Aaron Rodgers, who is a gunslinger, but what does he do? He runs the ball. He even complained to his coach and said, "Hey, let's run the ball. What are y'all doing?"
It's a mystery. I don't know how we can figure it out. You know, I don't know how we figured it out on the Paul Rodriguez show, but, you know, the trend is if you run the ball more than 50% of the time and you don't turn the ball over, you dominate. You do it the opposite way, you lose. So it is what it is. Kellen Moore, send us a DM on Instagram. We'll see if we can get this figured out for you. Give us a few minutes. It is currently 8 o'clock on the dot, Central Standard Time. Give us a few minutes. We'll come back. We'll get into some college football. And I know Wes was talking about them boys, but let's see who he picks this week. When we come back, we got the new picks for the Week 15 when we come back. King, as always, is in the building. We'll be back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get into a little bit more of the NFL. Shout out to James for producing our graphic for Week 15. Gentlemen, can you believe we've been doing this for over 207 games? We've picked of the matchups for 207 games. It's tremendous. Week 15, 2022. Producer James has put together our picks. We've calculated and collated and formulated the proper rankings as well as overall record. Shout out to Producer James, Week 14's champion. The overall champion still maintains its crown with Paul Rodriguez of the PRS Show. Paul Rodriguez Show. Wes, close behind, but nipping on his heels is Producer James at 113 to 90. How do y'all both have 90? That's not right.
No, it's not.
James, I think, has 90. I can look it up. I have the record right here.
God damn it. Well, I'll get it right next week.
One of these days, he's going to get it right. Give me about 30 seconds.
It's gonna be 94, right?
It's going to be 90. Actually, I think, hold on. Let me get you the official.
See, you're all getting me all flattered and stuff, and my graphics are wrong.
Hey, man, I try to give you your flowers. If you screw up, that's your fault.
You gassed me up too big, man.
That's all right. Yeah. So James' overall record is 113.94. Wes, good job on your side. Wes
he knows how to do math.
Well, you just subtract the number. It's right there. I'm just going to say. 117. Wes's overall record 117.90, and I am at 121.86. If you're rolling with me or Wes with our picks, and if you're in a state that's lawfully allowed to sports bet, you're making a little bit of money. I'm just going to put it out there like that. I was just over even this past weekend. You were like 8-6 or something like that. And then Wes was 7-5. So, yeah. It's pretty good picks there. We all like San Francisco in the Thursday night game. We all like Buffalo. It appears James is on Baltimore. Wes and I like Cleveland. Minnesota all the way. And then, of course, we have Atlanta, the sole Atlanta guy. And Wes, James and I like New Orleans. Philadelphia, clean sweep. I like the Jets. I think there's just something about
Sorry, Carla.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Philly all the way. Philly Fanatics definitely in the mix. We all like Pittsburgh. And for some reason, we'll get to that Dallas game in a minute. You can all see. We like KC. James likes Arizona. James likes Arizona. Yeah, I talked about the Jets. James likes Arizona. I don't know why. Kyler Murray will be busy with FaZe Clan playing COD.
Flip the coin.
And pretty much he could be because Kyler or Rippin could easily be quarterbacking the Denver Broncos. Cincinnati's hot. Chargers are hot. Y'all, Wes, tell me why you like Las Vegas. Tell me. I know why James likes Vegas.
Because they were at home.
At home? Okay.
It was like a pick 'em for me. So I was like, who's at home? So I took the Raiders.
So you're taking the Padawan over the Jedi Master with McDaniels to Belichick.
Well, sometimes when I come to a game and I can't think about who I want to pick, I can't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
You just take the home team, and so I like the Raiders, man. I think they got to kind of bounce back from that Rams game. They have the talent to beat them. I mean, come on.
They do, but I like Belichick. I mean Belichick in that matchup. James has something over the last few games I can't see, but I have it right here in front of me. I believe New York and Washington. We like Washington, and then of course everybody is taking Green Bay. Rounding out our picks for the week, the Dallas Cowboys are taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars in Jacksonville. Duval.
Sorry.